Hey, good evening, and good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Annie D and the Purple Sofa. Yeah, this is where all the goss is. This is where you'll get the scoops. And Tarini, good to know that you're in. And everyone else that has joined. Thank you so much. So I'm going to quickly get on there. Now, I have to say, I am honored to be talking to my guest today, Onir Dhar, director Onir Dhar. Now, this is not the first time that we've chatted. I have to say, we have chatted before. And it's great to be chatting to him again. We talked, post the amendment of Section 377, because my guest is very active, very vocal about, supporting the LGBT community, being openly gay himself. But you know what? There is so much more to him than meets the eye. He challenges the status quo. He addresses issues with his films, controversial issues, and he's been doing it before anyone else was, proactively on this scene with movies like I Am, My Brother Nikhil, Bus Iqbal, just to name a few, let me tell you. And I would say that he's visionary in this respect. But he is a man of many talents. He's an editor, he's a screenwriter, he's a director, also a music producer, if you didn't know that already. And he's also a man who says that if you have an idea and you have a camera, maybe even on a smartphone, then you have a movie. And of course, I'd love you all to help me. All of you, thank you so much for coming on. Oh, you're so very welcoming yourself, honestly. I mean, warmer than I am. But, I'd love for you to join me in welcoming my guest today. So let me see if he is in. Tanu Kaushik, good to know that you're in. Being Young, I think that's your name. Oh, dear. Thank you so much, for joining me this evening, joining both of us this evening. Let's hope that the connection holds, because as you know. Hello. Hi, Onir.
Hi.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. You haven't changed. You haven't changed since our last conversation. But you are looking fit. You're looking fit to take on the world, Onir.
One has to these days.
Yes, but I've seen you out and about. I've seen you driving here. What is happening? Where have you been? Tell me.
So I've been actually traveling for the last 2 weeks to different places in West Bengal mostly.
Yeah.
And again from the 7th I'll be traveling for another 2 weeks to different parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, but it's all work related, so it's fun, but one has to be also very, very cautious, but all the time you have to be alert that you're safe.
No, you know what? You've made me feel envious, because I am stuck in this concrete jungle in Gurgaon. Okay, and all I see on your social media is green. There's air, but I'm not breathing it. You are. No,
it was nice after 6 months to have that break.
No, this is true. Oh yeah, they're all in. They're all waiting, I have to say. But listen. You have kept yourself quite busy though. So yes, you've been out, you've come back, and you're going out again. But you've also kept yourself busy during the pandemic. I've also seen videos of you exercising. And not only that, your production company, Anti-Clock Films, has also encouraged budding kind of filmmakers to actually come on the scene and actually do something. What a fantastic idea. How did that come to mind?
I think, realizing that how frustrating it is for young budding filmmakers, actors, to be caught in a situation where suddenly, for overnight, actually, not even overnight, 4 hours notice, and your life just changes, and you're locked within, and suddenly, people are getting frustrated, getting anxious about what to do, and I feel that how do we take care of our mental health? How do we take care of, not being anxious? And I feel that, I thought that since people are messaging me after this started after like 3 weeks, by then I was like, okay. And about their being anxious about work. So I thought that why not encourage people that during this time how you can keep learning, keep learning
Yeah.
something, keep polishing your skills. And
Yeah.
that's how the entire idea of the film club festival started,
Yeah.
competition for actors and filmmakers. And then I thought, why not invite well-known filmmakers, critics, everybody to
Yeah.
come and, you know, kind of be jury to, because there were lots of, like, I didn't expect actually so many
Yeah.
films, because over the 6 weeks that we did, like every week there was a different,
Yeah.
a subject. I had more than 450 films, which is
Wow.
amazing, So
Wow.
I feel that it was positive energy, people learning things, people interacting with each other, thinking
Yeah.
what to do next week, instead
Mm.
of feeling, you know, just depressed that nothing is
Yeah.
happening, and I feel, during these are the times when you realize that there are people who want to catch opportunity
Yeah.
and, and polish and learn and polish their skill, and there are people who will just sit and, I don't want to judge, but who will only complain.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Which is most of us. That's most of us. You know what? I am guilty myself. All right. So I can't blame anyone else. But look, were you surprised at the quality of the entries? Did you find something that was new? What was the standard
I
like?
was pleasantly surprised because, and for me, what is exciting is this is new media. Today with Instagram, YouTube, and other social media, people are doing short form films. And I feel as a filmmaker, even as a feature filmmaker, you need to constantly be in touch with the younger
Yeah.
generation about what they're talking, what they're feeling, about how they use social media. And I feel that this exercise also helped me, learn
Yeah.
from the films that came in, that what is
Oh,
the
I love that.
language of cinema these,
Yeah.
all these youngsters are, you know, it's not just random. There were a lot of
Yeah.
really beautiful uh, films that were coming in, which are things to say,
Yes.
and I'm always, when I see so many films which is trying to convey a message, and I'm wondering that, but what happens when these films release in the theater? Do these people
Yeah.
go and watch these
Yeah.
films? Because if that would happen, uh, independent cinema would be in a much better space today. But
Right.
having
Okay.
said that, it's very encouraging to see people, you know, thinking about the world we live in,
Yeah.
our society, what's happening to us, and making films
Fantastic.
about it.
Yeah. So did you find anyone who you thought, you know what, I would love them on the anti-clock film production house or the team?
So the entire thing was in a way where we had announced that whoever is the winner, the director, will get to assist me in my next production,
Wow.
and that will happen. And also the best actor and best actress, I will give them some appropriate role. It depends, of the thing.
Yeah.
But having said that, actually there were more than one that I liked, and we
Yeah.
reached out to some of them. One person whom I really liked, unfortunately, she has her exams, so she couldn't join in the project that I'm working right now. But I feel that there are a few beautiful talents there whom I would definitely work with. Yes.
Yeah, what a brilliant opportunity. It was just a brilliant idea. But I love the fact that you're encouraging people, you're absorbing them into the fold, which many find it really hard to do. But you know what's also really hard? Like we talk about your team, but it's not that easy, is it? Because you've got to manage everything. Did you ever sometimes think, I would love to be a part, work under a particular banner because everyone just looks after everything for you? This way in your own team, you've got to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to be
So
conscious. So,
the whole difference is working under someone and being your own independent. I feel the choice is between these two things, whether you want to be the decision maker or do you want
yeah,
someone else to be making decisions for you.
yeah,
And I mean, it's really, I don't look down upon people who do that. It's their
yeah,
choice in life. but my choice in life is
Is to do it your own
to
way.
make my own decisions. Yeah,
No, but well, I think that sometimes, currently when you see see things happening, sometimes it's the only way to get forward, and we all
absolutely.
know. But I'm going to ask you a very direct question. Having your own team, does that then take you away from the main camps, the different camps we have in Bollywood? And it's all over. It's no secret that there are certain camps. Does it take you away from the main
So I
camps, being
feel that
independent?
not really. All one has to do is I create my own camp where the
Yeah.
doors are open for everyone. So
Oh,
it's not a closed camp. It's
yeah,
open, and there are people who I've worked with, in my
yeah,
films, who belong to mainstream cinema. So that's what
yeah,
I mean by open doors. I've worked with. I would never say that. Oh, I don't want to work with mainstream actors, or the team members that I've worked. For example, my music director Mithun. Okay,
yeah.
how more commercial can you get
This is
than
true.
Mithun and Preetham, who have
Yeah,
worked with me, right? I've worked with singers who are mainstream. I've worked with, be it art directors, artists like be it Ravina Tandon, Juhi Chawla, Urmila
yeah.
Matondkar, they're all mainstream, you know, actors. So I feel that we have our own little camp, but all the
Oh,
doors
fair
are
enough.
open.
Yeah. I mean, but this is, as I said, this seems to be the way, and it seems to be the only way because, because I've also talked to like Jonathan Augustin, like he's done, he did the movie Lift Boy, and he did most of it himself. So actually, I quite like the fact that people are doing it on their own because I think maybe it's time for the monopoly to kind of break up a bit. But generally, when you do your movies, what genre would you say that you are in? What kind of a niche would you say that you've created for yourself with
Uh,
your
I,
movies?
I feel one is there is a niche that society and the industry creates for you. Like,
Hmm.
for example, people just immediately with me they'll say LGBTQI. Okay, whereas if you really look at my body of work, of course, but most of our films actually have a heteronormative narrative.
Yeah,
You know, uh, women, for example, I think women in my film are extremely powerful and empowered, and
yeah,
that's the way I like, and I like to tell those stories also. So that's something that you get slotted. Having said that, it's not something that I regret.
mm,
I feel that's my strength to be a voice for my community. I
mm.
feel I have, just like today, one talks of having more and more women behind the scenes so that there
Yeah,
is a
definitely.
feminine gauge, the female gauge at the way one looks at the
Yeah,
world, looks at cinema. Similarly, I feel that uh, being out and proud, I can bring in the queer gauge to
yeah,
cinema, to the way we look at the world. And so I'm proud of that. And I feel what fascinates me as a person is relationships. So I like
yeah,
to delve into relationships in my film, but it might take different forms. It could be romance, it could be thriller, it could be
yeah.
more human drama.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not a person who would make horror because I get scared.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't see myself doing that. I don't
Okay.
see myself doing like a really action film. But the
Yeah.
other genres, I feel also as a filmmaker, there are genres that I would like to explore, like adventure, but the core being relationships. And also, I like to tell stories of people, marginalized people, let me put it
Yeah.
that way.
Okay. So I'm not going to expect to see a movie like I don't know, so Dharma production, like two people running across a field of yellow flowers in skimpy clothes. So nothing like that then.
Unless there's a reason for them to be
There's a
running
reason.
across the field.
No, but but I see. I did an interview with the director Anubhav Sinha, and he was talking about his journey where he used to do films that he thought the audiences wanted, but then there came a time when he said, "No, I want to do the movies that I want to do." Now, what I see with you is that you seem to always have done the movies that you wanted to do, because I mean, am I right in saying was it one of your earlier kind of assistant jobs? You worked on Daman?
Yes,
which actually dealt with like like domestic violence.
marital, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, did you decide then that this is what I want to do, or was that something you were already interested in? That's why you did it.
No, I think that was just incidental. That I was working as a song director and editor in that film. I was not
Hmm.
really assisting, um, but the kind of film I wanted to do, I was very clear right from the time I wanted to be a filmmaker, because
Yeah,
these are. I mean, I make the kind of films I enjoyed watching during my
yeah,
student years. Yeah, and even when I made my first documentaries, they had a they had I will say that they were all something which is not just randomly.
yeah. Right. No, so for a very quiet person, for a very peaceful person, there seems to be an underlying rebel there. There is a bit of a
Yeah.
I see it coming through because you have persevered, and I really admire the fact that you have just persevered with something that you believe this is what I want to do. So, you know what? So, one question. Now, lately, we know that Bollywood has almost been ravaged, onslaught of this social media, kind of this mudslinging. Do you feel, in some convoluted way, that it is going to, in a way, an advantage, or it's going to open doors maybe for new entrants, or maybe for people like yourself, who've had to make a camp to do what they really want to do? Do you think has kind of opened the door slightly more, slightly wider?
Uh, Honestly speaking, I don't. I mean, negativity does not open doors.
Yeah.
When I mean, criticism is extremely important,
Hmm.
so that an industry also looks at itself. And I think we have not done it for too long, and
Yeah.
it is a fact that doors don't easily open to, newcomers outside. There are different challenges. But when people only, want to bring it up to humiliate
Yeah.
others,
Yeah.
then it's not coming from a space of positive energy, which
Yeah.
actually results in change. Then it becomes ranting,
Hmm.
which after a point of time is just forgotten. Having
Yeah.
said that, I feel that change always happens,
Yeah.
small changes. And I hope, because it has come also at a time when there is COVID, there
Yeah.
is a lot of digital thing happening, the audience's taste is changing because of the sudden shift of everybody going
Yeah.
into digital. So there is a change in the pattern of what the audience wants,
Yeah.
and I feel all that will cause, uh, you know, change in the kind of which anyway happens. It is always an
Yeah.
evolving process. But having said that, right now what is happening is you'll see a lot of big films going into platforms,
Th- That's it.
streaming.
Yeah.
You will not suddenly. I can give it to you in writing, and that would have been changed. That there won't be suddenly absolute newcomer
Yeah.
who does not belong to the industry, who is getting launched by a platform in a multi-floor, you know,
Yeah.
film or whatever, So then change whatever is happening right now. Everyone's saying, "Oh my God, this is empowering." Okay, but if you really look at the way all this web series, whatever, they're mostly working with established actors who were, how would I put, not the big stars,
Yeah.
but good actors who are getting, of course, a space, you know, to do. But it is not something that's opening up. I mean, just like a television industry, people look down, but it's always taking newcomers and people that are being. So
Hmm.
even web series is doing that. But
Hmm.
what are we exactly talking about? Like huge change in Bollywood happening. That is
Yeah.
yet to happen.
Right. But I'm just seeing like eyeballs are shifting. So eyeballs, and that's the main thing, isn't it? The audience. I mean, this is what we are talking about. So would you say, therefore, the OTT platform, the digital kind of a platform, because your movies are not mainstream, right? You're doing what you want to do. It
Yeah.
may not be accepted by everybody. You face a lot of obstacles, but you've still gone ahead and you have persevered. Do you think the OTT platform is your audience? Would you say this? Because, I mean, a
So
lot of movies
what you
now.
realize, if you talk to more and more independent filmmakers, you will realize that the OTT platforms actually squeeze them, you know, and it's extremely difficult because they're all down running after the biggies. So what
Yeah,
used to happen earlier in the theaters, it's the same. So as an independent filmmaker, you never get the price you should get. You know, it's the same
yeah,
battle we fight.
yeah,
It's just shifted. Okay, so I feel that I know lots of independent filmmakers who are struggling to get their work in any platform. You know, and then
yeah,
there will be people who don't understand the economics and say, "Oh, why don't you put it up on YouTube?" Who is going to pay for it? You
yeah,
know, the revenue generated from YouTube with millions of views is hardly anything. And to get those views, unless you
yeah,
spend a lot of money pushing it, it won't happen. You know, so it's
yeah,
an entire mechanism. And I feel that OTT platform, like when, you know, there was this whole thing that when so many satellite channels came up, of course they
mm,
also need content. So your product will find, your film will find a space that okay will be shown there, you know. But
mm.
the process of getting there is not necessarily easy for independent filmmakers.
But that's the process on it. But in terms of content, right? Because
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
what I'm
things,
saying. But
obviously, the
how
people,
will the
yeah,
see, the thing is, right now, I understand what you're talking. Maybe about censorship, you know,
yeah,
about not getting censored. But today there is also something called self censorship that a lot of these platforms do because they're worried about how the government will react. Ultimately, everyone is looking for eyeballs.
mm,
What will tell
yeah,
me today? Again, for a country like India, how many do you really, you know, if you see the number of digital content that's coming out of which how many actually portrays the community,
yeah,
right? How many actually talks about class, caste,
yeah,
because that's not the audience. So the things that's being produced are what pleases a certain kind of
yeah.
audience and
But
moves them, not offend them. You know,
yeah,
so you're monitored by another set of values and
ah,
morals and
okay,
logistics. And oh, you know, our viewers do not want to watch something that is political or something that is, you know, LGBTQI. You know, everyone will do once in a while because it's politically correct to have some representation right now, you know, but I feel not enough. And that
yeah.
is in
There's,
terms of, I mean,
hmm,
really, like contents that really question the system, you hardly have because that
yeah,
is where the censorship comes in, because everyone is scared that,
yeah.
okay, there will be a backlash. There are already talks of digital censorship coming in. So
Well, it's too
people are
late. The
cautious.
horse is bolted. It's too late. The kind of
Where,
stuff that I've seen on on the OTT platform, I mean, there's no way that could have been shown on a big screen on it. The only
yes,
way it could have been, put out there was through the digital platform.
yes,
There's some stuff that has just made me sit back. I have to say myself, and I'm from England. So yes, I'm an Indian, but I was born and brought up in England, and even I had to kind of think, oh gosh, okay, that's surprising. But I think it's, how then do you, I mean, I'm not sure. I think the whole horse is bolted. I think there's just so much more acceptance on the OTT platform because it's global, because you've got a European audience as well. It's not just Indian. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But having said that, so so I want to go back to how you work independently. Have you found that then, when you talked about finance, have you found that financing your films is difficult?
yes, they've always been difficult because of again what is perceived as will get more eyeballs, you know.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't come from the schooling, let me put it, where eyeballs is what makes art. You know, I
Oh,
don't. I believe in making art.
yeah.
You know, my teachers who taught me filmmaking, from where I've learned, made cinema because and thought that it was it's not just entertainment, but it is also something that enriches you,
Yeah.
enlightens you, makes you question, and that is not a very popular form of cinema in India. But honestly speaking, yes, it's been difficult. But right now, I'm in a space where I don't regret. I don't. I honestly don't feel bitter about it because
Yeah.
it's again a path I've chosen, knowing
Yeah.
very well it will be difficult. So I got done deal with it,
Yeah.
and I have dealt with it, and I've independently done a lot of work, and I'm doing work, and one constantly figures out how to negotiate,
Yeah.
which is okay, I suppose, because people have to negotiate worse.
Yeah. I mean, so happiness. So if somebody said, Honor, I am
Yeah.
giving you unlimited finances and resources, right? What
Hmm.
would you do with it then? What would you do?
I
Where
would
would you put it?
I would open a platform which would only cater to independent cinema and series,
Yeah.
and initially have for the next 5 years free subscription, because you have to make people uh, used to that content, because
Yeah.
we unfortunately are a very divided country. People are not used to certain kind of cinema, and unless you lure them, you
Yeah.
know they will not, and it's a habit. So you have to initially give everything free, just like what, I would like to use the same thing like today what lots of apps do, or Instagram, even Gmail, that initially
Yeah.
everything is free, and then, oh, if you want storage, you pay this much, if you want this, pay this much,
They've got you.
so we give all the content free, get people addicted to good content, and then
Yeah.
they'll start paying for good
Uh,
content.
So what you're saying is that, yeah, we talk about, like you say, mainstream cinema, we're giving what the audience want. But what I'm actually getting from you, that actually a lot of our audience still need to be educated. I think there's a lot of our audience that just doesn't know, what they don't know what they want, or they're not aware.
I think there is a lack of awareness about a lot of things,
Yeah.
because our education system, everything, like, for example, small thing that let's talk about, today, how, how a woman is treated
Yes.
in our country. It's very, very relevant, especially over what happened the last few days. A lot of men think it's okay. And where does it come from? It comes from upbringing, education, to what you're exposed in life,
Yes.
where you are exposed to certain really patriarchy, and even that is in cinema how women are portrayed. That it's okay to molest someone, harass someone, stalk someone, because our
Yeah.
heroes are always doing that, and it's a problem that they themselves are not sensitized that you are getting crores and to do something which you can say no because you are in that position. Be
Yes.
responsible, but they will say that, oh, but this was entertainment, and
Yeah.
even women like it. Even if women like it, it does not make it okay,
Right. Absolutely.
right? Because women have been a part of patriarchy for centuries, so that's also a part of many women. When
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, but women are the ones who do that," of course they will also. They also become. They're a part of this society that has created them. They don't come from
Yeah.
Mars, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel that is the same in terms of art, in terms of today as a society. Why are children, parents teaching
Yeah.
children Bollywood dancing and not the wonderful forms of music and dance that
Yeah.
we have? So as a culture, we're losing out a lot of things that we inherited from our past. You
Yeah.
know, and it's very people don't realize, and that is what the colonialists. The first thing that was attacked, because we were not such a country. We were a
Yeah.
very, very. We were quite evolved in many ways. The
Yes.
first thing that the Britishers attacked was the education system, which they systematically destroyed, the Gurukul system. And that is what create. I mean, and now we are in a total mess of not knowing where to take the education.
Yeah, exactly. We're behind by generations, actually. I
Absolutely.
mean, You know, I have to say that, having said that, I've been stalking you on social media, talking about talking about what's right and what's wrong, and I've been seeing that I can see you're an admirer of Swara Busker, and I read your article in the Calcutta Times where you said she's almost inspired you, in fact, to speak and to just, you know, voice your opinions a bit more. I mean, that is amazing. I mean, especially she's been vocal about obviously all the mudslinging, and she's also been vocal about the Hathras gang rapes as well. Rapes, I say now in plural now, which is often this is what you're actually talking about. So, do you see this as an issue now? Anuba Sinha has done Article 15, right? Which kind of I guess shows an awareness of these issues, obviously in rural areas. But do you think, as you said, there's still more space to do movies like this? Do you think you're kind of inspired to tell the story from another angle?
I
Could it
feel
be?
that, like for example, in 2015, a film that I had produced, 2016, sorry, it released 2000, was a film called Chauranga,
Yeah.
which was set in Jharkhand. It had this protagonists were Dalit. It spoke about, but it was like what I'm saying right now. It found, though we won the best film at Mami, best film at IFLA in LA, but it was extremely, extremely difficult to find a home for that film. Releasing was difficult. Later, for a couple of years, it was with a platform which didn't renew it, though,
Mm.
and it is all because no one is interested in a Dalit story, because that film, the protagonists were Dalit. Like there's a little difference. Like with the Article 15, your main character, the protagonist is still from an upper class,
That's
who's
right. Yes.
going and rescuing and here it is
Yes.
not that. Here my protagonists were two kids who were Dalit kids,
Yes.
and the mother who is Dalit, so, and then of course the antagonist was the upper class,
Yes.
So it's extremely difficult to tell these stories. Today, tell me, how many films do you see with rural India as a setting?
Very rare, very rare.
You don't.
However, but you know, having said that, that is the funny thing is we don't want to see all this casteism, but we're okay to see violence and gore. Like, if you look at Mirzapur on the OTT
Yeah.
platform, if you see
So
movies like that.
again, so I will slightly I want to differentiate because that's important. A Mirzapur, a Jamtara, all these are like they're very good drama, but they're all B towns.
Yeah,
This is not a Dalit story. This is not rural India. It's
yeah,
not going to, the heart of India still. We're still away. B towns are the next target for eyeballs, for money,
yeah,
be it for the platforms, be it selling. So everyone, why do you have today? It's just like the what you call Miss International or Miss World contests.
yeah.
At some point they
Pageant.
decide that okay, this year it has to be India because we need beauty products too,
Ah, okay.
right? I mean, it's something everyone knows about. Be it suddenly, Latin America, India being in focus because suddenly you have beauty products flourishing.
Yeah.
Similarly, today you'll have suddenly B towns in the
Hmm.
Hindi belt, featuring constantly because that is the new audience. See, they already have us, right?
Yeah.
We're already there. And now they want that audience, plus they want us to see. It's almost like how I'm exaggerating. It's
Yeah.
almost like how the West wants to see exotic India. Now we city people sitting in our urban cities want to see. Oh my God! Look at that! It's when
Yeah.
we see this B town India, it's an India because we don't travel. We don't know these people. So it is for our consumption and also to woo them, saying that okay, finally our stories are here. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's set in Kanpur, it's set in Lucknow, it's set wherever. So I feel it is still not going to what I call rural
Hmm.
India.
So we're not shifting any more than we are. We've come
Yeah,
to a
where
stance in the
where
B
when do
town.
we have where do we have stories about farmers' suicides?
No.
Such a
Yes.
huge thing. Why do we have things talking about, you know, environment or any of the things which is, caste related, these
Yeah.
huge issues in the form of stories. I'm not saying that. it has to be like a
Yeah.
documentary, but these can be the backdrop.
Yeah. I mean, I think they also want happy endings, but unfortunately, all these real movies are not necessarily happy endings, as you can see. They're just endings
Yeah.
more than anything else. And I do feel, though, that confronting dark issues, and dark issues, I mean real issues, are scary. And they like to be in the dark area of your mind. And I think people don't want to confront that, which is a bit of a shame because I think we need to open up and we need to see it for what it is. It's the only way that it's going to work. But such is life. But having said that, on a lighter note, I mean, you're a man who's got what, almost 13 awards. Have I missed any out? And you've got a couple, you've got a couple of best film, best director for, I think, for I Am and My Brother Nikhil. And I think maybe was I listening to an interview with Sanjay Suri? He said your films have done, best outside of the country, and they've done the rounds in Montreal, they've done the rounds in Sydney, and even university colleges. Like John Hopkins? Am I?
Michigan, John Hopkins, lots of
Yes. How's it being used though? In what context is it being used?
So actually, what is interesting is the films. Like I have been, like I also go to the US sometimes to lecture. Like I go for 3 weeks, whatever, to different university, and the things that one talks about is one is LGBTQI rights,
Right.
one is independent cinema, the other is Indian cinema. So there are 3 different categories that I am a part of. I am a part of Indian cinema. I am a part of Indian independent cinema.
Oh
I
God.
am a part of someone who started, kind of the early ones who started crowdfunding. So I've done a lot of talks and visits about crowdfunding
Yeah.
and independent cinema. And of course, LGBTQI representation in cinema.
Mm. Right, that's brilliant stuff. I mean, can you see yourself kind of moving towards the West then, or are you going to stay put here?
I am looking forward to in the next years making some films which are more international, as in,
Right.
have crossover. I'm developing something which I want to shoot in Australia. There's
Yeah.
something I'm developing which I want to shoot in Kabul, in
Wow.
Afghanistan. Yes. And there is something which partly I want to shoot in the US. So these are projects that I'm, developing, and I hope they happen
Right.
in the
So
right
if it's international, shall I send you my demo?
Absolutely. Like I said, all my doors are open.
Oh, brilliant. I hope your post box is open as well. I'll send you a demo. Quite nice. Oh, so can you do this all working from here, or would you have to then shift, or can you do this all here? Or it's just
Just like
shooting abroad?
it's the shooting abroad. I don't want to change my home,
Yeah.
but I travel a lot. I like traveling, so for me, home is always something that is constantly
Oh,
migrating, constantly on the move.
yeah.
So I wish I could buy a caravan and just keep moving, working
Oh
from
God,
inside.
lovely. Oh, you're making me jealous. I can't believe this. You've already just come back. You're going again, and now you've got, you've got these dreams of going. You're going, and you're leaving us here in this concrete jungle. Really, seriously, honestly, take me with you to this green stuff and this. But listen, I need to clarify. Are you going to be a contestant on Big Boss by any chance?
you know, I was like, I really still don't understand where did that come from. The announcement came, and I denied it, but they never even, said, "Oh, sorry," nothing. I think they wanted some publicity. Just that
Well,
okay, someone will deny. I fell for it. I shouldn't have. I should have just ignored.
you should have said, okay, fine. You should have seen. That could have been one of your movies, being in the house on Salman Khan's
I
production.
wouldn't have survived. I will survive COVID, but I don't think I would have survived that.
No, I have known people, like I have known people, I have talked to a celebrity, and I won't name him, who went on, he said he was ready to leave within a week. And he was ready to leave, but his wife was advertising, was campaigning to keep him in. So it was just, and I think it was in that way it was a disaster, but he managed to get out. That's how bad it is. But to be honest, I think Big Boss is almost like being in lockdown but just with lots of people, lots of weird people. I'm not sure how it works, but it's similar. It might make it easier for people to go into the house. So you never know, you might try it. As long as they.
I know my mind.
So now you also worked with music. So what pieces of music have you worked on that I can actually listen to? Because I didn't really know about this until recently. So I want to know what music pieces that you've worked on so I can go and listen to it.
No, no. I think there. I am not a music composer. I produce music.
Ah, okay.
So I have, yeah. So I'm not a music producer.
I almost imagined you with a bandana with your guitar.
No, no, I'm just learning the guitar. That's different, and I'm learning Hindustani classical music. But
Oh, wow.
I don't have any aspirations of composing.
So I'm not going to see you busking around the world though, going international in your caravan with your guitar. Oh, right. Oh, right. So is this bit of an insight into what you're doing then? So all these projects that are more international bound. So anything that I need to know for a scoop that you're doing in India that I need to know right now,
No,
that is not
right
a
now,
secret.
uh, but I can't talk about it exactly.
Yes,
But
you
right now
can.
that I'm
My doors are
traveling
open.
is I'm traveling right now is for research. So I'm traveling
Cool.
for work.
Can you
For
jump in there and tell me a bit more?
I am unfortunately my lips are sealed right now about
Can't I do
what
what Big Boss
exactly.
did and get you? You almost you fall for it. Okay, fair enough. So basically, you've got some new stuff coming out. You've also got new projects abroad, which I will be sending you a demo for. So if there are any budding artists that watch this, once I post the IGTV, at least they know there is opportunity. And don't blame me if you get a load of packages and demo tapes through your post box. It's not my fault.
I
Oh,
could breathe.
but Onir, it's been an absolute pleasure to be talking
Thank you
to
so
you
much.
again.
Thank you.
Honestly, and I have to tell everybody, thank you so much. People have been coming in and out, and thank you so much for listening. And of course, your video will be on the IGTV. But if other people, if listeners want to actually, if they're more, I don't know, YouTube, then do sign in. I know, subscribe to my YouTube channel in conversation with Annie D, and you can see on it all over again. That's what you can do. And you know what? He's frozen, as everybody does, on a lovely note. I love this. Why is it that I can't freeze on such a beautiful face? Honestly, mine are really bad. But of course, you also get articles to read on my website, annied.in. So if you want to listen to all the interviews, they'll be updated there as well. And of course, you've got the podcast there as well. Now, yes, as usual, I have to be grateful it didn't freeze in the middle. But of course, so you can see, of course, on it again. So if you missed the first part, you can see him again. Do not worry, you've got it all. And of course, thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you on Sunday yet again with my next guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is, so you're going to have to tune in. I will be promoting it. So do have a look in, don't miss it, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.